Hello everybody and welcome to Week in Tech. I know you are going to be disappointed because we promised last week, or did we promise, or we said most likely we're going to get Ganesh on the show. But just this morning we got news from him because he's actually coming in from the US, and as I told Aisha, his flight got delayed not in Hong Kong but in Singapore. So he would have been here now, but instead he just arrived. So it's raining cats and dogs outside now, so there's no way, unless he had a helicopter, which I think he's not bought one yet. So maybe that's on the shopping list for the next time. But we'll carry on. We're hoping to get him on for the next show. We got to arrange the logistics. But in the meantime, we'll just carry on with the show with the format that we normally do, which is let me first introduce Aisha Mustafa, which I forgot to do.
It's okay.
Okay. So now we'll just get into this. The cover story for the week of December 21st is on cloud computing. Actually, it's a round table that we ran together with Accenture, who've got a big positioning on cloud computing also. Obviously, they think they're going to make a lot of money out of it, advising companies. And the title of it was Moving to the Cloud, Cutting Costs and Creating Agile Organizations. So there were two guys from Accenture, one gentleman, the CIO of Sime Darby, who recently won CIO of the Year also from PCOM's Leadership Awards. Tan Kachai, his name is keeping my mind, it's not like Tan Kachai. And a gentleman from Microsoft. Microsoft, yeah. And then, did I say that wrongly?
Microscope.
Really?
I think, It's okay.
Okay, and then there was also Datuk Prabha, CEO of Basis Bay. So a cross-section of people there, Basis Bay being a vendor / but service provider, consultants, and then you've got also a technology vendor, not so much a service provider in Microsoft, and then you've got a user. So it's pretty interesting. But what came across and what I realized was that for them, they said that if an organization wants to move towards the cloud, now they're already forming two definitions of the cloud: the internal cloud and the external cloud, which is kind of new to me. But they said that if you haven't already started virtualizing your servers, within your organization, you ain't going to be moving to the cloud anytime soon. Because just this process of virtualizing, gives you the confidence and creating some new skill sets and work processes too, in how you manage your IT. And then that gives you eventual confidence to move it out and let a third party host it. So that's pretty interesting. And talking about the normal challenges, right, with some countries having data regulation rules also, you cannot have your data, especially in the banking industry, residing in a third country. But interestingly enough, Datuk Prabha was in the US and he at a conference, and he spoke to a CIO of a state, because all the states there have their own chief information officer. And Datuk Prabha said, hey, I'm from Malaysia and we're doing this. Would you consider, hosting some of your data in Malaysia? And he says, we're going to outsource everything. He didn't mention the state, and sure, we'll consider you. So Datuk Prabha was quite pleasantly surprised. And he said, so a lot of the barriers are coming down where you don't really need to do it in-house anymore. I mean within, the same geographic location. So that's kind of interesting. It's a massive 4-page,
round table, yeah.
But it did get a bit techy at some time, but there's, I think, enough good insight there for readers, to pick up on some key points there. But that side, Aisha, you also wrote about Inspidia, and it will lead us to a conversation about creative, which we didn't have time to talk about last week. But share a little bit about Inspidia, and they've been around for a long time now.
Yeah, I think we've covered this before. So they're doing a co-production with Kids Co channel, and this is Kids Co first co-production in this region. And I think one of the highlights of the interview was they said that Inspidia's whole workflow process is digitized. So even from doing the storyboard, they do it on the PC. So they don't draw anything on a storyboard. So because of that, because Kids Co is based in the UK, so he says that even with the 7 hours difference, basically they can collaborate and co-produce stuff. Everything goes through the internet, Skype, video conference calls, going back and forth the documents. So, and then I think Paul Robinson, the founder of Kids Co, and he says that if Malaysian companies can see that this can be done, they've got a real opportunity to go global this way without having to shuttle back and forth. And this is the way to work right now. And
sure. So